Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another live session with the Hype Magazine. Today, this evening, fantastic. I haven't had an opportunity to speak with this young lady since November of 2021. You know, Black
Woo!
Lives Matter was going on at the time, and
Yeah.
this biracial boss lady with curves, curls, and sass
Yep.
we had an amazing, amazing conversation. We're back again.
Yes.
Um, she's still doing her thing. As I said, she's an actress, comedian, creator, and one of the most exciting voices working, at the intersection of horror and humor right now. You may have seen her doing her stand up, but now she's got this horror grind that's okay, we got to talk about it. So,
Yes.
Anastasia Washington, again, is her name. She's making waves with her multi role performance in the new horror comedy anthology Grind. And I missed her at South by Southwest, but this just premiered at South by Southwest here in Austin and is already headed to the Chattanooga Film Festival. Congratulations, really exciting to make jury selection. Beyond the screen, though, she continues using comedy and storytelling to challenge stereotypes, spark hard conversations, and build community. And later this month, she's going to bring the same energy to WonderCon with her Ha Ha Horror panel. I'm looking forward to that. Welcome, Anastasia Washington.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you. I know you're a busy person, and I really appreciate, you know, taking the time off camera to chat with me as well. And but anyway,
Absolute pleasure.
so the movie Grind,
Yes.
it uses horror, comedy to explore gig work. Gig work. We all know about that side hustle
Oh,
now.
don't we, right? It's a gig work economy right now.
What first stood out to you about the film's message, and why did you want to be a part of telling this story now?
Well, I will tell you, Bria Grant is one of the directors of it and writers, and any project she's a part of, first of all, I am lucky enough that she tries to include me in almost everything she does,
Mm,
and I am blessed to have such an advocate for, like it's not always the case with some of your white friends, but
right,
she
right.
really is an ally in so many different ways. And and one of the ways is she does uh, champion and place me in things that are really epic and have some really big statements. And I will always show up for her no matter how small a role. There is no role too small. So when she was attached to it and she was like, um, we're doing this project. At first, it was just a short. And she's like, "You're gonna be a gorgeous girl in a commercial." And I was like, I mean, you buttered me up. Let's go. And it's gonna be a cult, sure. And
Okay.
Barbara Crampton's gonna be in it. Okay. I was like, you're just talking to me, like in a playfully dirty way. No, just kidding. No,
Amen.
I'm in. Absolutely. All you had to do was ask anyway, but this is such a great um premise. So that one was about MLMs, which I am surrounded by a lot of people that have been caught up in MLMs.
Yeah.
I myself have not,
Okay.
but I have observed a lot of them, and I think it's intriguing. And then when they expanded the universe, I was so just honored to be asked back and be in different segments of this movie and be in an interstitial fiber of it. Because they really did have a lot of commentary to say. It
Mm,
started out on MLMs, which, some people haven't had exposure to.
right.
It is very LA, but I think it's also very Midwest.
Yeah, I would
So,
agree.
so, but they expanded it now to a universe that includes like a commentary on like your local coffee place, your delivery companies, your content that you watch on
Mm,
TV and on your computer,
mm,
stuff like that. And they've really expanded this universe and made some big swings and some big commentary on how we're living from paycheck to paycheck now and the things that we're asked to do. Obviously, this is an exaggeration.
right.
Hopefully, nobody's in these circumstances in the way they are. but it is also like while playful and while an exaggeration, um, it is kind of like I feel your pain at the same time, about like what we have to do to just survive with our families now and make a good life for ourselves. So I think it's really important. It's really funny. It's got an amazing cast, and I just love that horror and comedy can just bring these kind of messages out into the world, and I get to work with my friends. Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's a win. The
It's a
hobby that
win-win.
pays you is definitely a win. You know
It's the best.
what I mean?
It's the
I
best.
you play multiple roles in Grind,
Yes.
but you also serve, as a kind of a through line connecting all four stories. You mentioned that you appear in different segments or different
Hmm.
portions. So all four stories, helping to combine them and tie them into one world. Um, how did you approach building like that connective thread without making each appearance feel repetitive?
Well, I will say that the characters are different um from each other and vastly different from me as a person, which is really fun to play. Um but I've been around these people before, like these kinds of people before. So that was really fun to play off of like my perception of these situations and stuff like that. Um as far as like interweavingness, it's just like very easy to do with this because it's such a vast and like vivid world. It is a world where this corporation dragon has their hands in every single aspect of your life, from the thing that you're delivered to your door to, what you watch on TV to the coffee you drink. And so it is everything is like intertwined and everything is like tentacled together and their claws are and everything. And so um in that way the world is so fun and exciting and amazingly uh transparent into what you need to do to fit into this world, and I love that. And it was such a great experience as a performer to have writers like Ed and Bria bring that kind of world to life, and you knew what you had to do because you're like, I know this world, I got this.
Mm.
I live in this world, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So hopefully not to that degree, but I live in this world.
yeah.
So I think that was it was like pretty fun to play parodies or extreme circumstances of the world we currently live in. Um, and just imagine what it's like should it be taken to another level, and should you be part of the machine even more
Even more.
than you currently are.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to explore.
I like the fact that, you know, I was a sufferer of bitter beer face at the end of every month before, and the hustle culture, saved me. But as you said, it's turning into like a 360 deal. If you're an
Yeah.
artist, it's a 360 deal. They own all of parts of your merch or whatever. Or,
Yeah.
you know, if you're a CVS customer, they own the pharmacy, they own the healthcare
Hmm.
network, they own the billing
Oh
company,
yeah.
they own you
They
as,
do.
and
And
it's
they
really
own the right to like even make changes. Like if you want to complain about something, or if somebody's treating you wrong in the system, who do you go to? They own the system.
that
They're
part.
not taking your complaint. They're not changing in any way. They like the way things are, and they like the way that you are in that system. So it is like very frustrating, and I feel that. I'm sure most people do. And like the majority of people are living paycheck to paycheck and part of this like system. So I don't think it's far-fetched for all of us to like really identify with a lot of the characters
Hmm.
and a lot of the situations, even though I hope, again, nobody is going through some of this stuff at all.
At all.
But
That's hilarious.
but you know, but
So
yeah.
this anthology features, a strong ensemble. I mean, you've got
Yes.
the James Paxton, you've got Christopher Marquette, James Urbaniak, and Rob Hubel. I mean, what was the energy like working in a cast where everyone is helping balance satire, horror, and social commentary.
Well, I gotta say it's been a lot of fun, and even doing like the press rooms together, and being in audiences, seeing the reaction, but also being on set was super fun.
Mm,
I think one of the most fun things that we had, and Chris will probably not find this as fun as I did, but we were dressed up as zombies, and we were supposed to be taunting him in the movie.
right.
But we'd be at Crafty, me and the other girl that were playing these zombies, and he'd come in and just be like the friendliest, nicest guy, and we would just be like, "Oh, are you here to get crafty?" And he's like, "This is my neighbor. This is my neighbor." Like, it was just so fun, and everyone was just like so open and so nice, and so I don't know, it was just a really cool experience. And some of the stuff that I've never done before, like I've never had to have had like my body painted for
Hmm.
a role, and that was really cool. Yeah, I mean, just fun.
I
Just fun
I
stuff.
couldn't imagine. Now you've done recently you did an ad. I think you were in lingerie or something of
Probably.
similar,
That
and so no, uh, having your body painted though is different than being oogled by a camera. You've got somebody actually handling you. How?
Yeah, I
I
will
mean,
say it is not sexy. It's not sexy. It tickles a lot. It's very cold. But it's also very fun and
right.
just weird. If I remember the first time I was like splattered with blood, like
Hmm.
it's so weird. You try not to flinch. You try to like just let them do what they need to do because they're working and they're trying to achieve a look, but you're also like, this is feelings on my body. And it's not bad. It's just like stuff that you don't do every day. And
Hmm.
yet some people do. This is their like job. Like there's these creature actors that are so good at this kind of
Oh,
stuff that they're used to doing like 7 hours of makeup and doing all this stuff like that. And oh, hats off to them. Because I am ticklish as all heck, and I was like, I'm so sorry that I'm laughing through this whole thing, but you're painting my feet, and I'm
yeah,
done. Like,
yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to be cool. But it was so fun, and it's such a great way to explore character because really, when you're painted to look like a creature, how are you not able to like feel that and change
Uh-huh.
and like gosh, like your whole body has changed. So it's a really good assist. I think like practical effects, that's one of the things that is so great about practical effects. Obviously, we can't always do everything practical, but when you do for as a performer, it really enhances your performance and helps you get into character, like nothing else.
Mm.
Um, and I just like am very excited every time I get to try something new like that. Like, oh, like that is an experience I haven't had. There's a movie recently that I filmed that I'll be doing the festival circuit later on where I had to have a tarantula crawl on me and I had to learn how to handle and control a tarantula.
Mm.
Like like to have it crawl on my hand, lift it up to camera, slowly take it down, and have it leave. Now, to have a spider leave you, I'm gonna tell you, it don't want to do it. It's like I'm going this direction, I'm staying, I might go in your hair. And you just gotta be cool. You gotta be like, nah, spider, we're working together. You need to go that way. And
My fear factor in real life. Like
you know,
who's gonna scream first? Me.
this I wasn't really scared of the spider. I was actually more scared of like hurting it.
Okay.
It was like this living creature is climbing on me. We have cameras and we have people and rocks and like,
Hmm.
I had a weapon
Okay.
for this role and I was like, what if the weapon just swipes down? I was just like thinking like Final Destination style that I was gonna hurt this animal. And
I'm gonna
luckily I
finish
did
this
not.
interview. I don't know. It's hilarious. They're hilarious. I'm crying over here. I really, I gotta finish this interview. Hold on. Wait a minute. Got me going. Like, I love talking to you. I swear I do.
Oh, that's a
Um,
pleasure.
man, so horror and comedy both
Yes.
depend on timing, tension, and release, right?
Yeah.
Um, As someone who works in both spaces, what do you think makes that blend so effective when a story is trying to say something deeper about society?
I mean, I think with all performances, the more grounded you can make it and the more you can try to find something that you identify with it, the better, right? Even if you're playing a bad person, find out why they're bad. You don't have to like really go like I get that, but you just go, okay, this is their justification of that.
Mm-hmm.
And with comedy, it's so hard for people to be like, I gotta be funny. Because as soon as you do that, like you've lost your timing, you've lost your moment. Um, but if you really you just base your performance in what you're saying and what you're doing and like what you're actually feeling if you were doing this, like I think the comedy just comes out and the timing comes out naturally because it's not forced, it's not pushed. It's not like I gotta say it this way so that I get a laugh because everyone then goes, yeah, I'm not laughing at you. Especially especially in like BIPOC communities. They don't want to hear you go laugh. They're like, make me laugh. And
Right,
so
right.
you really gotta believe in what you're performing, and really step into that character. And that's when like I feel like the best performances come out. Um, and that's how you get that improv, those improv moments, right? Where it's like, they said that? Why, how did they come up with that? And it's just because they're so in it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
always think, and this is not a horror comedy, but I always think about the moment in Indiana Jones when he was so sick. Indiana Jones, like, Harrison Ford was so sick, and this guy is doing all kinds of weaponry work, and he's coming at him with swords and whatever, and he just pulls out his pistol and shoots him, and the guy falls to the ground. 100% improvised. Harrison Ford was just sick and was like, why in the world would I fight this guy when I have a gun? Best moment. Best
I,
moment.
I didn't know that
It's
was improv.
insane. Yeah, that's insane. And the best also part of that is that the other guy just felt like I see what you're doing and reacted and really just like was in it so much that it made a whole scene play out that was not planned. Like he
Wow.
fell just like he would have if he got shot, but he didn't know he was going to
Right.
be shot.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's great.
Yeah.
Like being so connected and so willing to play and so in it, and so willing to be present in what you are doing at the time. I think that's when you find true horror and that's when you find true comedy and this
Wow.
true timing of things
Uh,
because otherwise you're just reading a script, right?
right. Yeah, just reading words on a paper.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So this you ignited the question in me that's not on my script. Method acting and what is I don't know what the
Oh.
I forgot what the other one is. Can you help us as lay people kind of understand the difference a little bit?
Yeah, so like I'm not a method actor. I have studied method acting. I commend people if that's your way. But I was a child actor. So for me, I think I came about it from a different way, right? Like to me, when the scene ends, when they say cut, I'm myself again. And I am happy-go-lucky and like supporting my cast and my crew and whatever. Um, a lot of method actors have to stay in character for a
Mm,
very long time. They
mm,
become those characters, they create those characters, and I think that is fantastic for some people. But for me, because I started so young, you can't do that. We
mm,
don't do that. You can't tell a 4-year-old, do this and then stay that way for
mm,
like weeks at a time.
mm,
We just don't do that. So my brain doesn't really process method acting very well because I kind of need a detachment, right? I need a safety net.
mm.
I need time off, right?
Oh,
And some
okay.
people don't. Some people need to step in completely to that character, um, and just like really take it off. And I was at a school for like a year, with method acting when I was really young and trying to see if it was for me. And it was really hard because if you had a bad scene or you had a bad moment on stage, uh, it would stay with you really a long time, or at least for me.
Mm,
Um, and it was like not great for my mental state. but some people can really do it well. And I think it's just knowing yourself,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
I think about my character when the camera's on or on stage. I am in that character. I think about it. I pull from my own experiences, but I don't really try to immerse myself completely and totally for the rest of my time through the
Hmm.
whole project and off the project. That to me is not my way. And I respect everyone that feels that way. I'm sure that I like to imagine that I'm a villain, or
Hmm.
I like to imagine how I would be as a person that was in jail. I don't need to spend a night in jail necessarily.
Right. Right. That
But
part.
but I value that, although like I do think there are experiences that enhance your performances. I mean, I have been to like speaking of jail, like I went to an Alcatraz at night thing and I
Mm.
heard they're like, one of the things at night is we're going to close the gate. We're going to turn off the lights and we're going to close the gates like they do every night. And that will stay with me forever. And if I ever have to be in a place like that, I can definitely pull from that experience
Mm.
100% how I felt. Um, but I wouldn't probably do it for a week.
That part. Yeah, I think one of the most incredible stories I heard of was when Jim Carrey played Andy Kaufman,
Oh, yes.
and they were saying that he was like in it. You had to address
Yep.
him as Andy even during the down times, and if you saw him at the restaurant, he was being Andy. I'm going, okay, so that would be method.
That would be method. And
Okay.
there's no denying that the people that are
Hmm.
are like that are great and amazing talents. I don't know if it's great for me. And also I don't know if it's great for everyone. Like, Heath Ledger
Yes.
really got involved with the Joker and to the point where his mental state wasn't great. I don't think it's 100% immersing himself in that role, of course. Like I can't say that, but I do think like we have to take care of ourselves as performers, um, and know ourselves. And I know myself. I need to laugh. Like I have been on sets where horrible things have happened to me in scenes, and I need to shake it off.
Mm.
Like I need to like I might need a moment, but I need to be me again after that.
Mm.
Um, and I respect people that can stay in that, but it's just not me.
Mm. Okay. Well, on to another challenge. Your upcoming WonderCon panel, Ha
Yay.
Ha Horror. Horror.
Yeah.
It's centered on what makes us laugh in fear. So, when you look at your own career, what have you learned about the emotional connection between laughter and discomfort?
Well, I think when you're laughing or when you're scared, you're disarmed for a second, and it's a great way to like spoon feed great messages, like a spoonful of sugar, right?
Hmm.
And start conversations. See, those are the moments that last. I mean, I think I saw some statistics that are like, you don't remember all your happy moments, but you do remember the times you were scared. That to me, like that is crazy to me.
Hmm.
Um, but it's true. Like your most vivid memories are usually of some like very scary incident, and that says something, right? It says something about like the impression it has on you. And although I will argue that the times I've laughed until I almost cried
Yes.
or did cry are also moments I remember forever.
Mm.
I don't think people say that as much, but I will say like the times I've been like sad or scared and the times I've been extremely like just happy and like just giggly. I remember those. They make impressions on my body
Mm.
and in my mind. And so like I think that's why they go so well together. They're about timing. They're about making impressions on your soul, and about lasting imagery. And like I'll always remember, you know, Pet Cemetery with the little kid slicing the
Yeah.
ankle
Yeah.
for eternity. But
Yeah.
I will also always remember Blazing Saddles when he says, "Let me pull this thing out."
Mm.
And I will still have a visceral reaction. Like I could not. So those are lasting memories,
Yeah.
and they could not be more different. right?
Right.
But gosh, did they put like completely like become part of my soul.
Blazing Saddles. You know, I hadn't thought about that one in a long time.
Oh, I just did a rewatch. Blazing
Still fun.
Saddles and History of the World Part
Yeah,
1.
yeah, yeah. Oh
Oh
my
God, that
God.
was hilarious.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
best, the greatest, the goats.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Great
same.
times. Uh, was that Levon Little? That
Yes, and Blazing
Cleavon
Saddles.
Little in Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, Blazing
Yeah,
Saddles, and then Richard Pryor was in
Richard Pryor.
History,
Yeah.
which I love Richard Pryor. Like he growing up, like he was one of my comedy influences. My dad would,
Mm,
it was like Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, George Carlin. Like he would like have the specials on and have the albums on, and just such great memories of that. And they're definitely the greats in my mind that made me think I would be funny.
oh, you had the cool dad. I had to sneak and listen to the albums. You know, Richard Pryor's "Is It Something I Said" when they
Oh
had
yeah.
him tied to the stake and get ready to
Hmm.
burn him. I had to. I discovered headphones because I would sneak on my mom's stereo and put on the Richard Pryor records and the Red Fox records and things like that.
Oh yeah. No, my dad was like there were certain things he was so strict about. Like I was never allowed to watch The Simpsons, but I could vividly remember Chevy Chase and Richard Pryor doing the scene about word associations.
Yeah,
In my dad's mind, certain things were like important,
right.
important delivery, important time periods,
Hmm.
but to my dad, like The Simpsons represented like disrespect and like probably just weird white people stuff. And so he was
Yeah,
like, nah.
yeah.
So I was allowed to watch a lot of stuff because I did grow up on sets, and so I knew things weren't real. Necessarily. And I also always had an open dialogue with my parents. But if he thought I didn't understand something, he'd be like, "You have to write a report on it." I'd be like, "Oh, come
All
on."
right. Cool points. Cool points just got deducted.
Right? Oh gosh, I can deduct some cool points. Don't worry.
Oh, hilarious, hilarious. You've been really intentional about using your platform to address difficult subjects like police brutality, eating disorders, and colorism. Which, if you're not wearing a uniform, it is so difficult to make people understand the internal caste system
Yeah.
within our race, and you've done it with humor and honesty. How do you decide when comedy is the right entry point uh, for conversations that are often painful or polarizing?
Well, I tend to like always kind of lean on comedy. Um, and empathy, right? So like I will try with comedy first because I think it's the easiest way to talk to people. It's the most fun way to talk to people. If people are disarmed by comedy, they can talk uh just more freely. Even like I've done like chocolate sundaes, which is a tough room.
Hmm.
Um uh and what I've learned every time I've done it is to not make the audience upset by my presence, right?
Mm,
There's obviously I'm light skinned, right? And when I walk into a room, white people don't understand anything. They don't understand I'm mixed. They know something's up in their opinion. What am I? But black people know. I'm like one of their cousins. I'm
right.
like their sister, their mom, their what it happens. Like light skin happens. I need to do a shirt like that. Light skin happens,
Right, right,
right?
right, right.
And so I have to acknowledge immediately that this is the way it is. And I have to not put people in an automatic defense because of some colonial system that we
Right,
had no choice in, but is embedded in our very DNA.
right.
So the biggest thing I can do is not make fun of myself necessarily, and not make fun of them and make them defensive, and not make my fun of me and make my whole legacy and my whole existence a joke, but to be like, we're in this together. Like I am like one of you. Like I am like your grandma. I'm like, I'm like your light-skinned grandma, your auntie, and be like, yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, thank you, founding fathers.
Yeah.
Immediately just being like, yeah, we're in this together. And I think that is comedy and empathy, and how I try to do it. It was a hard lesson for me to learn. I would go in places and I would just like be like, please love me, please like me. And automatically, uh, you know, darker skinned people would make a judgment on me. They would either love me and understand that what I went through is very similar to what they go through on
Right.
the other end of the spectrum,
Right.
or they would not acknowledge my existence and be so angry at me. Um, and I would try to change their mind, dancing around, doing anything I could, praising whatever. And in some ways, I can't do that anymore.
Mm.
As a woman, like I can't uh, placate to that standard. I have to call out that standard at a certain point, but I have to say that I'm here. I'm in it with you. We're in this together. Even if you don't have my back right now because of things that you're going through, I got your back. I will say your name in rooms. I will point out like anything that happens to you that's wrong. Does it hurt me? Absolutely. If it happens and I'm in control of it, I've done shows where people make jokes about it,
Mm.
and I say, listen, we don't make jokes like that on my shows because it divides us as a people,
Mm.
and I don't do divisive humor.
Right.
If you want to talk about that white man in the corner, absolutely, go for it, dude. But you're not dividing my community, and you're not giving them any more power than they already have. Not on my show,
Mm.
not in my script.
Mm.
And I can't do that in the world,
Right.
unfortunately, but I
Right.
can do that on my platform. And I can go do better. We can do better. Like we
Right.
can do better jokes. And I've gotten in arguments with comedians, and they've been like, "Well, they think it's funny. Other mixed people think it's funny." I'm like, "To your face," and then they go home and cry. And that's why people are alone, crying and not telling their truths. I'm gonna tell you my truth. I'm gonna love you still. I'm gonna have your back, but not on my watch. Are you saying stuff like that that's gonna divide us and make us go back to their colonial ideals? We're fighting a battle right now.
Yeah. 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 And we're finding, I mean, it's more glaringly obvious. As a fellow light bright, I grew up,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Um, it's even more glaringly obvious who is still suffering from the chains and images of psychological
Hmm.
slavery. You know,
100%. And I think
100%.
I grew up with Black Panther ideals, right?
Right.
Under the fact that, and like the perception, obviously the public perception of Black Panthers hopefully is changing a little bit, but for the most part, I was told one thing in school, and then I went home and my parents unindoctrinated me
Mm.
into saying that what the Black Panthers wanted was kids to be fed, kids to be taken care of, communities to take care of each other and to have each other's back, and not to have it be us against them, but us against oppression and us against a system that is wrong and us against poverty. And that is my philosophy. And the thing that divides us is usually the person that is trying to control us. They want to be like, that one's different. That one is better than you. That one's this way. And then we're all fighting amongst ourselves while they take a whole bunch of our rights away. And I'm not about that life. I'm
Mm.
not like, I love my community and I love people. And I think, you know, I'm biased, but I think that the Black community is a beautiful community. I'm such a biased teacher too. Like I'll be in the classroom, I talk to the first, like somebody raises their hand, I was like, oh, the Black kid in the corner,
Right.
like because I want their voice to be heard. And I just, yeah, I want everyone to know that we are in this together and not be divided anymore by this because it's not us that divided us.
That part. That part.
Yeah.
That part, y'all. That part, y'all.
Yeah.
you know, I try to I'm tired of being nice, and I don't. What I understood you to say was that when you first started out and you were going into mixed rooms, you had to do the shuffle, but not
Hmm.
for the usual suspects. You had to do the shuffle for your own people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fall into the step and fetch it in order to make them like you or see you
Yeah.
not as a threat, and that's painful. It's horrible.
Oh,
Um,
it is. And I had to do it at home too, in
mm,
my own family. And
wow.
I learned very early about like which members of my family were going to accept me and which members of my family were not. And they were some of the closest people to me that wouldn't accept me because I was light-skinned, you know, and they would say things about me and it was hurtful and I would try. I learned how to cook really well for it. I learned how to like sing and dance and just entertain
Mm,
people just because I wanted to be loved by my own family. And
mm,
while I love and treasure all of the facts that I learned those talents, I do not want other kids to have to learn those talents because of something like that. I want them to learn it because they want to express themselves that way.
mm,
And I think it's so beautiful to just be out in the world and be proud and be who you are. Because when I walked into a classroom just a month ago and a kid looked at my hair and she like looked at me and she was like, and I was like, I know, honey. Yeah. And
mm,
like I could have flipping cried.
mm,
It matters. We matter.
mm,
And I don't want anybody telling us that we don't
mm,
or that they want to hide behind our voices
mm,
or our culture or steal from it. I'm not doing it anymore. I literally left a project recently where I was the only person of color on the whole project. And it was a black-led project about a black situation. And they tried to quiet me. And I said, bye-bye.
mm.
It hurts. Bye-bye.
Gotta go.
You gotta go.
I was going to ask, and I think this is a perfect segue for this question is like, as a biracial creator working across film, comedy, and modeling, you know, and this kind of touches on imposter syndrome. Do I really belong here? But how
Yeah.
important has it been for you to define your own lane rather than wait for the industry to create one for you?
Oh, it's essential. Um, it's absolutely essential. I'm really good at being the best friend, the sassy best friend,
Mm-hmm.
but I also am very good at other stuff. And not only that, even the sassy best friend has a story, and they have the right to tell that story in ways that we're still not seeing on TV. Like, I I mean, hair, for instance.
Mm,
Me having natural hair through my whole entire life has been a bane of most of my casting existence.
really?
You know? Yeah. And then you think about TV. Have you seen girls in bonnets? Do you see girls get out of walk around the house? Do you see guys in wave caps?
On Tubi.
Maybe on Tubi, yeah, and
That's
it's
it.
nice. And it's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
But that's the way we live.
Right.
And so then when I or some kid goes to a sleepover and that white girl sees the bonnet for the first time and makes fun of her, oh,
Mm,
it's defining. But if she
mm,
had just seen it on TV, she'd have been like, "What's that?" Oh, well, that's how people do their hair, and you should probably do it too because you could benefit too. Like all that could have happened
mm,
on screen and helped a whole bunch of little girls
mm,
communicate better.
mm.
And so I just think it is essential to make your own stuff because nobody's going to have our voices until we force them to have our voices. Just
Yeah.
putting a black person as a lead does not make it a black project.
Mm,
If a white man is writing those words,
mm, mm.
you know,
I'm
it just
just
isn't.
saying.
It just isn't. Even dressing them, even the person that dresses us does our hair. If you don't understand our community, you're
Mm,
not representing us.
mm,
We're just kind of dressing up for you. And I think there should be collaboration between us all. I think absolutely. But there is a point where I should, and everybody should, if you're writing about somebody that is not you,
mm,
not of your community, you should go, is this okay? Is this right? Do
mm,
you blah, blah, blah? Like ask.
Yeah, cultural competency. You got to have it
Yeah.
when you're representing something that might go out to millions, if it's a theater
Yeah.
product or something like that, like because people believe what they see on social media and
They
they believe
do.
what they see on screen. How many
Hmm.
times, have you been addressed as a character that impacted someone when you're Anastasia? Like,
Yeah.
that was my
Yeah.
character. That's not who I am, but that sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I try to explain it like walking into a room with a bunch of different people. Everybody's got this spirit, and something is going to cling to you.
Hmm.
Well, when you do that with millions of people through a mass produced product that's full of errors or misrepresentations, or, as they say in the street, you got part of the game and you going out backwards, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But you're doing it in front of millions of people, and it becomes, uh, I think, the guy in the White House says it. If I lie and I repeat it long enough, it becomes true.
Mm. Yeah.
It's
And
it's a bit reality. Yeah.
you isolate people and you make them feel weird and you make them feel other,
Mm-hmm.
and it just perpetuates this process. And I think honestly, I love popcorn movies and action movies and stuff like that. Absolutely, but I do think it is our job as media, as creators, as artists to make change and to really speak for people that don't have that voice. And also to speak for ourselves when we probably didn't have a voice, because there were times that I did not feel like I could say the same things that I will say now. Because I would be like, oh, somebody's gonna get mad at me because I'm light skinned. I can't do it. I can't. I listen. I didn't was it. I didn't go. They didn't go. Hey, you want to be
Mm.
this way? I didn't check that box. I
Right.
just was born, and
Right.
I love my community. Would you rather me not love my community? Because some people they act like that. I shouldn't claim this. I shouldn't claim that. But I am that, and I love my communities, and I'm gonna be part of those communities. I'm gonna have your back. And I think that's much better than me denying it. I hate when people just do this thing where like, oh, passing. You could pass. Have you read this book about passing? Passing. Why would I do that?
Mm.
Why? Why would I
Mm.
want to not be myself? Why would I want to hide this? First of all, it never turns out good. Hello, showboat. No, thank you.
You
I
feel me?
don't want that for me, right?
Yeah.
And second of all, I love who I am and I love my community. And why wouldn't I want to be a part of it? And
Mm.
why wouldn't you want me to be a part of it?
Absolutely. Another display, a manifestation right here on our live sessions of our women being the backbone of our community and having bigger balls than many men to stand up and be counted and hold others accountable and say,
Yeah.
you know what, no more. If we need a woman president.
We do. But I also have to say
Go
that
ahead,
I
baby.
have to say to the black man out there, I know it's hard.
Mm,
I do. And I
mm,
do know why there's defenses up. I think about my dad and all the stuff he went through, and I know certain stuff that he said to me was not in most people's ways kind,
mm,
but I understand it now and I get it. And I think, wow, like he was trying to protect me. Like a lot of people from certain generations put us down to try to make us uh like comply with this standard and just be like excellent and be hard on us, but also like not make us too big so that we are known and attacked and God, what a confusion
mm.
to try to protect your babies in this world. So I understand that that comes from love.
Right.
And I also understand how it is to go outside and feel fear with
Mm-hmm,
everything you say and
mm-hmm,
do
mm-hmm,
and try to provide and try to be there for people. I think that black men have it real rough, and I see it. I want to support you. I love you. And like, especially the ones that are out there being fathers, like, oh my gosh, the same way with black women, especially the ones that are being mothers. Oh my gosh, like, I got you. Because, like, wow,
mm,
what a world
mm.
to bring life into and to have to protect and culture and try to give everything they need and dream of. Ugh,
Yeah.
just ugh,
Yeah. I'm a
you know?
father of six, grandfather of 15, and it
Wow.
is a confusing thing. First of all, I don't
Mhm.
like kids because they confusing.
You seem to like them.
Making them. Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
raising, you know,
That can be quite
raising
fun.
raising is, it's a great joy, but it is confusing. And I just to, go back to what you said, it's confusing as a parent. You you want them to be able to fit in and survive, but you
Hmm.
also want them to be okay with knowing that they're great and can
Yeah.
achieve. But at the
And
same time,
pushing them to excel in a world
yes,
that is automatically saying you're not good enough. Oh
yes,
my gosh. Like how so you got to like put them down, force them to do stuff, but also love them and care for them and be like you can do anything. What the heck? Like, oh my God.
yeah, because
And
we
your own
know.
stuff? You're walking around with your own stuff.
Right. 'Cause we know that, when you ride high in the saddle, you make a big target.
Yes.
And
100%.
that's kind of what, I thank you for letting me get my little shenanigans off, because I didn't we came to talk about grind and all that good stuff, but I really appreciate you um taking this from an interview to a conversation.
Well,
You
I'm
know,
so glad we could have this. I appreciate
this is
you and I
amazing.
appreciate like the journey that I just feel like we need to like pat each other on the back. It is hard being a person of color in this life, and it is not easy to do it alone, and we shouldn't be doing it alone.
Hmm.
I shouldn't be like that man is doing the most. Okay, dude, like the man is got a whole world against him, trying to provide, trying to like love. Ah.
That part,
And
that
the
part.
same for me. I'm trying to do the same thing and I'm like, but what if we, but like, dude, I got you and I appreciate you. Dude,
Right.
I got you and I appreciate you. And helped each other instead of being like, I'm mad at that guy for doing that and I'm mad at that girl for doing that. I'm like, we're all struggling, dude.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we
um,
recognize it. We need to recognize it.
yeah, we never recognize each other.
All right, let me get my behind back on track.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's my fault, because I'm just like, I have her here for this short time, and I just want to get all the juice out the steak, so to speak. You know what I mean? I want to get everything. Like, when
Let's
will
do it.
yeah, when will I get to talk to her again? She's so busy and so accomplished, and,
Oh,
and, and
oh,
such
you're so
demand.
sweet.
It's amazing. So your recent body of work, from Gaslighter to MLM, which you spoke about a little bit earlier, Deadhead, and now Grind, shows a clear commitment to genre storytelling.
Yes.
What keeps pulling you back to horror, and why do you think the genre allows you to express, perhaps more than other formats?
I mean, I'm a horror junkie. I'm
Mm,
an action movie horror junkie. It drives my niece crazy. She wants me to watch The Notebook. I refuse. But I want her to love my horror and my action movies. So
mm,
I'm the same way, but most of the women in my family are horror junkies. My mom was a horror junkie. My dad would not watch a horror movie unless he was tricked. He was literally tricked into watching Jaws by my mom telling him it was a documentary, and it is not. So like we love horror in my family. The women in my family love horror. Okay, we just love it. We love true crime, we love horror, and we love raunchy comedies and action films. You know what I mean?
I can't. I can't do it. I just can't stay on track. Oh God.
My
Oh,
mom though, my mom though,
that is hilarious, because I recall my father going to, he was a real serious guy, and to sit down and watch something like Jaws or whatever.
mm,
No,
it was not
let's
gonna
let's
happen.
rewatch the entire, Kunta Kinte series. Let's
Oh my
watch
gosh.
all of that. You know what I mean?
My mom just watched Roots by herself last week. I was
Ooh.
like, have fun.
Yeah, that
I don't
was
need to hear about Toby.
that part. I came up. I was in elementary school when I'm going.
Oh
It was.
yeah,
I
no, they
just
showed
say
it to us there too.
it was.
A
We
lot.
we we had problems, because,
Especially with Reading Rainbow being the lead.
come on, LeVar Burton, buddy.
It's like, this is confusing. He just read me a book. I'm sad
Oh,
now.
it's crazy. Um, talking about leadership, you've built a community, beyond your own performance, from your horror filmmaking community to your monthly comedy show, comedy for nice people. Um,
Yeah.
how important is community building to your long-term vision as a creator?
Oh my gosh, it's like definitely like in my mission statement as a person, in life. I think that one of the things that is very important to me is to turn around and help somebody else as I'm walking up the stairs. And hopefully there's a hand up there too. But,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but I'm not leaving the hand behind. And I think comedy has been really hard to build a community with, but um, I think because there's still that idea that there's only one spot.
Mm,
Um, there's only one mixed spot. There's only one black spot. There's only one woman spot on this,
mm,
like, and I just refuse. So that it's been harder. But Comedy for Nice People is been a really great exercise and supporting each other and bringing up comics that believe in that same philosophy and deserve a stage. Um, Horror community, I gotta say, the horror people are the nicest people.
mm,
And I think once you know a horror person and know a horror creator, you got somebody that is gonna hold a boom mic, that's gonna read your script, it's gonna give you notes, and ask you what kind of notes do you need? Like, you know, uh, just like we'll say your name and rooms that need, like be like, yeah, I know this person, this person, and that is so cool.
mm, mm,
But a lot of us don't know that, and a lot of us are like alone creating, and it can feel isolating and daunting. And I think when you know that you can lean on people and that people have your back, it's really special. I'm not the greatest at asking for help, but I am great at helping
mm.
and helping
Absolutely.
people find help.
Yeah.
We'll work on the other thing. We're doing it in therapy. We'll see.
There you go. Look, I'm in therapy too. Shit works. You just got to go through
Yeah.
things in step stages and degrees.
Oh my
I just,
gosh. I just took apart my whole bed and did it all by myself and put it out on the curb and then built my whole bed. Like I had my head against the headrest while I was screwing other stuff because I didn't have a second person.
right.
Everyone's like, ask for help. I was like, oh yeah.
Life experiences. It's, this made my day. It's been
Oh,
a long, excruciating day of
oh, I'm sorry.
explaining mundane things to people who have zero comprehension, and
I
to
hear that.
have the opportunity to have a full conversation, and be allowed to, like I said, go off track. You have been very gracious. I really appreciate you because
It's been
I'd
such a
have you
great
on here for like
conversation.
10 hours, trust me.
Oh,
Um, but speaking of support, I want to take this before my final question. Just take this opportunity to, now I got your number. And that means you got mine, right?
yes.
So, as the editor in chief of the Hype magazine, I am saying whatever message you need to get out, hit me directly, and I got
Oh,
you. Simple.
thank you. That means so much to
Yeah,
me.
you
I
don't have to.
appreciate that.
You don't have to go. You're at the top of Jacob's ladder. You're at the sanctum sanctorum,
Love
and
it.
here I am as the high priest. I got you. We are gonna bless whatever you want to, because I really love your mission. I
Thank you.
love your outlook, and I'm frustrated, irritated, and pissed off too. And
Yeah.
yeah, y'all might not like it, but it's my show. I can say what I want to, and I'm not
Hmm.
FCC controlled, so
Mm-mm.
and I'm not afraid
Exactly.
at all. So to just recap, kind of, with Grind premiering at South by Southwest, another festival selection already announced, and
Yes.
your WonderCon panel ahead. Uh,
And we're also going to NOLA. Woo
oh,
woo.
shucky ducky, go and bring me back a beignet. Just
Oh
go.
yeah. Well, I'll try not to eat it, but
Hey, put mine in a
thought is
box. FedEx
there. The
works.
thought is
Yeah,
there.
the thought is there. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'll think
So,
about it.
what does this season represent for you personally and professionally with all these developments? And what do you hope audiences take away from this particular chapter of your work, knowing that it's going to continue to change, elevate, and grow?
I just think I've found that speaking up and just being out, Yeah, I think I've found the time to speak out now. Like, I think it takes a while for a lot of us to get that. Like, and we speak out in little ways and now, but like now I just don't shut up anymore. And I don't yell, I don't scream. I'm very calm. It might be even more freaky to people, but I'm just gonna tell you like it is. I'm probably not gonna hold any grudges. I'm really forgiving, but if you cross a line with me and you cross I'm gonna make you probably die in a movie that I wrote, or I'm going to tell you that that line is crossed, and I think that is the right of everybody to be kind and loving, but also to be like, you can't repeatedly do said thing to me. Um, and I think that's important, to step into your own and just be like, I love you, I care about you, I want you in my life, but if you do this, I cannot. And I think that goes with your creativity too. I can be like, I love it. I want to be part of this genre. But that one ain't it. Like for
That
me.
part.
And that's fine. That's fine. And know that there's going to be more. And know that there's going to be another better alignment for me. And be very happy that that was an alignment for somebody else. Because we all deserve our time and space. And hopefully, we're all there for each other during it. So I
Okay.
think that's what I'm taking away. It's like I'm not going to shut up, please and thank you.
Please and thank you. Now, is there anything you wanted to cover that I may have neglected?
No, I think you covered it all. I'm just super excited to be on this festival circuit, especially seeing a lot of the South that I didn't get to see. Well, actually, New Orleans is very familiar to me. My mom's from New Orleans.
Hmm.
I'm very familiar, but I always am very excited to go back to like my second home, and just being among my people. So I'm very excited to be there with the horror community too. Oh, it's gonna be so fun.
So dope. All right. Anastasia Washington, you've seen her in these high end ads, you've seen her on stage, you've seen her on screen, film. She's a creator, a comedian, a leader, an advocate, and this is not a colorism joke. I'm gonna say it like this: a bright lighthouse on the beach for ships that are navigating in dark waters at night trying to avoid the coral reef. Anastasia Washington is showing us, discussing us, and providing us with a way to make it to the end of the maze safely and preserve your mental health. Several times she's mentioned mental health and
Yeah.
what it takes to go in, and when your own people are oppressing you, at the
Mm,
beginning because of something
yeah.
stupid. That's the only word I can really use. You know, Here she is triumphant. Life is trying that BS. Her own
Yeah.
people and family have tried that BS. We don't quit. We don't surrender.
Mm.
No surrender. No retreat. The grind continues.
Yeah.
Anastasia Washington, thank you. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Till next time, Hype Live Sessions. We're out of here. Peace.
Peace.